President-elect Donald Trump is returning to the White House in just a matter of days, and he's bringing with him a list of presidential orders. On that list is the commitment to levying 25% tariffs on imported Canadian goods, which has Ottawa on edge. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau held a meeting with the country's premiers today to try and craft a response plan. Tessa Bennett joins us in studio with more. Tessa, how are federal-provincial relations on the matter?
Manisa, Canada struggled to put forward a united front in response to these tariff threats. But after today's meeting, the Prime Minister says almost everyone is in agreement about what's on the table.
I understand that all around the country, everyone has their concerns, their jurisdictions from coast to coast to coast. But there's one thing that's more important than jurisdictions, is standing up for the country.
After the Prime Minister and the country's premiers met in Ottawa on Wednesday, Justin Trudeau says federal and provincial parties agree the best way to respond to Donald Trump's tariff threats is to wait.
We love this country. Canadians love this country. And I and we as First Ministers will never stop defending Canada from anyone who wants to harm it.
Trump has made repeated claims that his administration will introduce a sweeping 25% tariff on all Canadian goods unless Canada tightens border security. Before Wednesday's meeting, Justin Trudeau took to social media saying, "While none of us wants to see tariffs erode a successful partnership between Canada and the United States, the country would be ready with a strong national response if we need one."
Every province going at it for themselves is really not a productive strategy. There does need to be some central leadership from someone, ideally a prime minister.
In the weeks following Trump's election win, Ottawa has faced numerous complications, with Finance Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland and PM Trudeau resigning within weeks of each other. In the absence of a clear leader in Parliament, Ontario Premier Doug Ford took it upon himself to defend the country.
We will go to the extent of cutting off their energy, going down to Michigan, going down to New York State and over to Wisconsin.
Ford threatened to shut off power to some northeastern states should these hefty tariffs come into play, and Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly echoed this idea by saying everything was on the table to counteract the economic measures.
Energy is hard because in the same way that the United States depends on us for some of its energy imports, we rely on the U.S. for our exports.
But not everyone was in agreement about the use of energy or oil as bargaining chips.
Oil and gas is owned by the provinces, principally Alberta, and we won't stand for that. And you should never, ever threaten something you cannot do.
This comes back to the idea that you really want everyone on board for any sort of unified policy. And I think it would make sense for the federal government to compensate Alberta if this were something that they decided to move forward with.
Meantime, other leaders seem to be solely focused on finding common ground among Canadian officials to safeguard the economy.
I'm calling for us to have a national economic plan.
What is our strategy? Never is it in the best interest of Canada to escalate to a broad-based tariff war.
The PM and the Premier spoke after Wednesday's meeting, saying the agreed-upon plan was to wait and see what the United States would do before taking any specific action, but the methods through which Canada responds are still up for debate. Notably, Alberta's Premier did not sign the joint statement penned today, saying on social media Alberta will simply not agree to export tariffs on our energy or other products. In addition to today's meeting, a number of Canadian organizations have joined the Canada-US Trade Council. The committee will share information and ideas to manage tariffs and the upcoming NAFTA review phase.